Trig Day 3, solving word problems. Just two different phrases that you need to be familiar with and comfortable with. First, an angle of elevation. And those of you that have done the park practice, you may have seen this term before. But think of what an angle of elevation would look like. All right, so here's an observer. As you look up at some object, then that angle that is made with the horizontal is the angle of elevation. So similarly, if we're at an observer and you look down to an object, then that angle made with the horizontal is the angle of depression. If the angle of depression is made with the horizontal and the angle of elevation is made with the horizontal, then what can we say about the angle of elevation and the angle of depression? They're always going to be congruent to each other. So I really should have that as congruent. Okay, so if you're told in a problem you have the angle of depression, then we can represent that with a right triangle. That's the angle of elevation as well. Okay, so the worksheet that I gave you, I just want to go through and set up what these problems look like, and then we'll actually solve them in class. At a point on the ground 50 feet from the front of a tree, the angle of elevation to the top of the tree is 48 degrees. Find the height of the tree. Okay, one thing that I need you guys to always remember, angle of elevation and angle of depression problems are always right triangle problems. Okay, so really every single one of these, so we're not confused, you can start by just drawing a right triangle. Okay, so now let's fill in the information we need. We'll go red. A point on the ground 50 feet from the front of a tree. So here would be the 50. If we say this is the tree, find the height of the tree if the angle of elevation is 48 degrees. Okay. A ladder is leaning against a wall. The foot of the ladder is 6.5 feet from the wall. The ladder makes an angle of 74 degrees with the level ground. How high on the wall does the ladder reach? So the foot of the ladder is 6.5 feet from the wall. The ladder makes a 74-degree angle with the ground. How high on the wall does the ladder reach? Wooden beam 24 feet long leans against a wall, makes a given angle. How high up the wall does the beam reach? Okay, so now this one, we're given the length of the beam, which would be the hypotenuse. Makes a 71-degree angle with the ground. How high up the wall does the beam reach? A plane took off from a field and rose at an angle of 8 degrees with the horizontal. As the plane flies over a water tower, it has covered a distance from takeoff point of 2,000 feet. How far apart are the takeoff point and the water tower? Okay, so we know 8 degrees with the horizontal. The plane has covered a distance of 2,000 feet. If we make this part our water tower, then we're looking for this length. How far apart are the takeoff point and the water tower? 20-foot ladder leans against a building and makes an angle of 72 degrees. So hopefully you're seeing a lot of these are the same. 72-degree angle with the ground, 20-foot ladder, that would be the hypotenuse. Find the distance between the foot of the ladder and the building. So that's our horizontal distance. Straight road to the top of a hill is given, makes an angle of 12 degrees. Find the height of the hill. So 12 degrees, a straight road to the top of the hill, so that would be our hypotenuse. Find the height of the hill, so we'd be looking for that height. Okay, wrong one. All right. The last four, what I would like you to do, try these on your own. All you need to do is sketch the figure. Okay, sketch the right triangle. and label appropriately.